I am off the streets of Sacramento now. I'm now in my mother-in-law's house. The lighting is so much better here. There's less distractions as long as my mother-in-law's clocks don't go off. She's like cuckoo clocks. They're like chickens. It's really weird. Hopefully you won't hear them in this video. Thank you also for helping me get closer to 1,000 subscribers. As I film this, I'm 8 subscribers away from hitting 1,000, which means I get to make money from the ads. So thank all of you who have helped me get this far. Here's what this video is about. I received a comment on a video I made called, "I see a big nose as an attractive feature." And someone named Vanessa Myers left this comment, quote, "I hate my nose, dude, and I think my nose is ugly. I'm half Italian and half Latina." There's the chicken I told you about. It's a cuckoo clock, but it's a chicken. So yeah, so my mother is also half Italian, half Latina. The commenter goes on to say, quote, I have low self-esteem because of it, because of her nose. I guess because social media and all this stuff on TV say women are more attractive with small noses. I don't know. I always had a problem with my nose, end quote. So thank you so much for choosing me to reach out to, because I feel very qualified to talk you through this. I think there's a lot of people who can learn from this as they're watching this video too. For me, I break it down to 2 things. Number 1 is people live in this illusion that attractiveness is universal, that all women need to be this size, they need to have this skin color, their nose needs to be this size. And because they see that on social media, you know what social media is to me? Am I pretty enough for everyone? Will you comment like this to show, because I really am pretty, aren't I? Or I'm cool, right? I'm funny, right? I'm a good dad, I'm a good mom, right? Social media, right? Just like the evil queen on Snow White, right? Looking for that confirmation. Confident people don't need confirmation all the time, right? And so it's funny and ironic that social media has this effect on people, which it lowers their self-esteem, when in reality, are those people even confident to begin with? These people who are perceived to be perfect on social media? But ultimately, I think people tend to buy into this lie that beauty is universal. So that if you look this certain way, then that's what attractiveness is, and anything less than that is not. So that in itself is a lie. So step 1 is realizing and recognizing that. Because remember, I made a video saying that I believe that having a large nose is an attractive trait, whether it's a man or a woman. It's an attractive feature. That's how my brain works. I don't need social media or movies or magazines or whatever it is to tell me different. That's how I honestly feel. So what's interesting is, let's say worst case scenario. Let's say men in general see a woman with a large nose, and let's say 85% of them says, her nose is kind of big. Okay, so you just weeded out 85% of the male population who are so conceited that they can't get past that. That leaves you with 15% who are good guys who think, oh, she seems cool, I wonder what her deal is. And they're not paying attention to the nose because they're paying attention to the person. What's funny too, though, is confidence is the twist in all of this. You won't hear this a lot from guys, but I'm telling you this. And granted, I don't mean to get weird because I'm married and have 2 kids. But I'm telling you this, it's psychology. Men are very attracted to confident females. I know that you're led to believe that men are mainly focused on looks. And I'd say in general, men are more focused on looks to women than women are to men. I'd say in general that's the case. But it's not the only thing that guys are looking for when they look at someone attractive. For me, I was always looking for someone who was confident in themselves. And I've been married nearly 10 years now, and I'm married to a very confident woman. But it mattered to me that she believed in herself. I was never attracted to a woman, no matter what she looked like. If she wasn't confident in herself, I couldn't be attracted. She wasn't worth my time. So I think the real obstacle is not a nose, but a confidence level. Confidence attracts. Just, for example, which version of me is more attractive? Or this? Most of you would say the smiling version is. In the same way a smile is more attractive, so is confidence. So, and confidence is like this. Fake it till you make it, then shake and bake it. That's what I believe about confidence. There's no difference between actually being confident and faking it. And that's something I'm stealing from writing in cars, comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. There's an episode with Steve Martin. Steve Martin talks about when he was 26 and starting his stand-up comedy routine, he played this larger-than-life character, and he said if he could get people to believe it, then it would take his career off and go somewhere. But so instead of being himself, he was just like this exaggerated version of himself, and people bought that and believed it, and he's still around. He's a living legend, Steve Martin. And that's definitely how I believe. What matters more is not that you're actually confident, but that people believe that you are, because most people are less confident than you. Again, going back to the paradox of social media. The other thing I want to say in this video, if you are a female worried about your nose being too big, the other thing I want to say to you is this. Men have their own hang-ups too, as far as what they're insecure about. So for example, I have another YouTube channel, it has like 4,500 subscribers, and it's for young men who are experiencing hair loss. And the number one comment I get from them is them saying, girls won't find me attractive, no one's gonna wanna go out with me because I don't have enough hair. And so much of my feedback in this video is based on what I tell them all the time. Confidence really matters more than anything. As far as an attractive trait, confidence is one of the most attractive traits. Being confident and kind. Those two things right there often lead to you being charming. That's what attractiveness is. On some superficial level or whatever, we could say someone, again, your nose is the wrong size, or your skin's the wrong color, or you're too tall, too short, you weigh too much, you weigh too little, whatever it is. But ultimately, someone who is confident, believes in themselves, and see, that's the thing, you can be aware of your perceived flaws of society. I mean, just like with my nose, it's so crooked, my nose. I'll prove it. Here's my teeth. It's like my nose goes on this side of my face. Big deal. But what if I were a person who that bothered me, right? Or what if the fact that I'm starting to thin up here, Oh no, I'm gonna go bald. But I'm a confident person, and I realize that how the system actually works. I'm a reformer. My personality on the Enneagram personality test, I'm a reformer. I think if everyone else is doing it that way and they're held back by those limitations, what's another way of looking at this problem so that I can be successful despite those perceived limitations? And so ultimately, just know that guys have their own insecurities, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're attracted to a confident female, because they're always thinking, because it used to be like in the 1950s, like, oh, well, as a man, I've got to be the breadwinner, I've got to make money, and it wouldn't help to be good, or it wouldn't hurt to be good looking too, right? But if we can cut through all that and blow all that away and say, you know what? None of us look perfect. And if we're trying to, we're wasting our time and energy, right? But what if we chose to be attracted by each other's confidence and kindness? And what's funny about that is that's how the world actually works. People like me know that. Confident people like me know that's how it actually works. It's a broken system to believe that a certain size of your nose or weight or height or skin color is actually what makes you attractive. I know that that's not how it works. I'm a confident person who loves mentoring people by learning how to be confident, or at least pretending to be confident. It's funny how much power there is in that. So I want to close this video by thanking Vanessa for being so honest and vulnerable, because I believe what I've given you in this video, and anyone watching, is more reality than you're going to hear from the fake Instagram social media world. There's no such thing as universal beauty. And if you're trying to compete with that, you'll never win. None of us will ever win. Even supermodels will still not win against their own standard, because give it a few years, they've got more wrinkles, now they've already lost, right? Now they're gonna have to do Botox, surgeries, all this stuff. That's not the game that the world actually plays. That's what the fake world goes by. The real world is looking for confident people who are kind and believe in themselves, because that makes other people feel good. We like to be surrounded by people who make us feel good about ourselves. And it takes a confident person, or at least a person who seems confident, to do that. So big nose, is your nose big? Maybe. Maybe it's bigger than you'd like it to be. But I've just given you a starter kit, which is going to help you focus on the things that actually make you more attractive no matter what size your nose is, whether it's too big, too small, or whatever the perceived imperfection is. However you don't stack up to Hollywood or social media, it's all garbage. I don't believe in garbage, but you can believe in yourself as I believe in myself. This is truth. This is wisdom. Thank you for being here.